website and I don't feel like doing that. But
Mhm.
this should be good. I think we should be live. Let's just see if the chat works. Testing chat. Let's see if I can see it. Yep, yep, yep. Can you send the message there just to make sure that it works? Yep. We have Lua Tux Rebel. Who is that? It sounds like Linux Renaissance, the other YouTuber.
Mhm.
So, what's up, Roman? Your color shows green here on the chat, right? It's because you're a member. If you send a message, can you send something?
I did. I did send, but I'm posting from the account that my personal account, not the work one.
Oh, but your personal one is a member.
Yeah, I'm double membering.
Man. So if you send a message, I think it shows up green on the chat. Can
Yeah,
we try it? Let me see.
there it is.
Oh yeah, your title shows green. What about mine? Oh, okay.
Yours is yellow. Yours shows up yellow to all of us.
Okay. Oh, I see. No, but I mean here on the live stream itself, your title shows green. Oh, where also in the chat shows green in both places. Yeah, okay. So,
Mhm.
hey Roman, what's up, man? How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Gonna start the timer.
Okay.
And what are we gonna talk about today? We didn't plan anything, so we're just gonna improvise. What do
Okay.
you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about some, I don't know, cool stuff that we saw across other YouTubers or just the technical space or things that we care about. It could be or NVim related, or it could be Linux related, or even macOS related. Although I didn't really see many macOS interesting things.
Hmm.
I just have been following the Linux space lately, and the biggest thing that caught my eye is obviously the alpha release of Tonarchy.
Oh, you watched that yesterday, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I watched Tony's videos a lot, so.
Yeah. Are you part of his clan? No, it's is he your leader? Because he has a cult going on. A lot of
Really? I
furries.
didn't know. Okay, maybe I'll join in.
Yeah, on Discord. You should join his
I didn't
Discord.
know.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of people active there. That is this video right here. Let me switch it over on my screen.
Okay.
This one, right? Anarchy. Let me know if you can see it.
Yep. That's
Yep.
the one.
Yeah. I did watch it. And what do you think about it?
I love it. I love Tony's way of, I guess, putting together those tutorials, and I like that it's simpler and it gives you plenty of kind of like ground floor to for you to add whatever you want. I'm interested to see where this project goes. Um, I do like Tony's choice of software and everything. So yeah, it's interesting to see. I also like the idea of like having like a really simple install script that just gets things going as fast as possible. Because if you've watched some of his other videos, for instance, um, uh, obviously he goes in depth, especially the ones in with Linux from scratch. That one is very long.
Hmm.
Uh, and if you actually try to follow it and go through the installation as a beginner, you will see that it takes a lot longer than few minutes to install.
Oh,
I was just trying to, I guess, showcase Linux to one of my friends, and I didn't have a way of like he just got a machine, and there was like no way for us to show things or type things. We literally just talked like back in the day on the phone, and I had to like explain and like send them pictures of like It's like, did you type everything like this? Did you type everything like that? The whole call to like we tried the NixOS install tutorial, and basically the whole call took about 5 hours for us to try to follow it and actually do it when he doesn't have any experience, like none. He just knows how to just use Windows.
And what was it? Following one of Tony's videos, or what were
Yeah,
you guys doing?
yeah, we were following the NixOS install video. I think the one that is the full one
Mm-hmm.
where you install it from scratch, basically. I think it was titled "Stop Using Mac OS" or something like this, and get Nix or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's on his blog. We use the written version because I've watched the video multiple times, but I really like the written version of the tutorial.
And what do you
So
think? What do you think about Nick so far?
I like it. I think, in personally for me, it's the right choice. At least for my flow, I kind of like. I really like the freedom that you have with Arch Linux, and obviously with other Linux distributions. And I'm sure you can sit and put together the scripts and everything to make it sort of more like easy to move around. But so far, I like the fact that, for instance, with my friend, if I want to put together like a little flake that does a particular task, or let's say maybe I want to show him, hey, let's start learning how to do Python or just Bash script or something like this. I can just put the flake together and send it to him, or just give him the repo and give him instructions in the repo of how to download it, how to use it, and therefore he can start using whatever I put together for him. So I think it's great for showing people things because you can sort of do the things for them or kind of package them and
Mm-hmm.
just give them the repo and the instructions. Um, and also is great for moving between servers. I like the idea of uploading in my repo all my configuration files and knowing that, let's say I move to another server, and everything I've prepackaged in that starts right away in the other one.
Mm. I would be interested in seeing how it works on servers. That would be a use case, I think, for me. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, that would be the only use case. I wouldn't use it on my desktop, to be honest. But on servers, I don't know. Sounds sounds interesting, actually. Yep. And going back to this to anarchy, I did watch the video and I think it's amazing that he has two different options. This
Hmm.
XFC desktop and the oxidized version. One of the
Hmm.
problems that I had with Arch when I try to install it is that it has way too many options. And I'm not a Linux user and I don't know
Yeah.
anything about graphical stuff on Linux. I only
Hmm.
know about the
Hmm.
terminal, the CLI. That's the way that I use
Yeah.
Linux on servers, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
when I installed Arch, I did get I did do the graphical install, but still I had to choose amongst a lot of different options and I just got lost and it didn't work for me. I didn't feel no, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But this one, I think this is perfect. If
Hmm.
I decide to try Linux on the desktop, probably I would go with this. Probably the oxidized one because this is his window manager, right? The oxidized one.
I believe so. I'm not sure. But
Yeah,
yeah.
he created his own window manager and now his own distro. So I think this is something that I would definitely give a try. And I also watched this beginner version, man. I thought about
Hmm.
Andrea. You know Andrea Borman, the queen, the
Yep.
goat.
Yep. Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because uh, I think it would be perfect for someone that is just starting, right? Because you just care
Hmm.
about your desktop, your start
Hmm.
menu. What else does she talk about? The screensaver, the wallpapers, as long
Hmm.
as those are good.
Hmm. Yep.
But she's missing a GUI, I don't know, app for installing packages, because that's
Hmm.
what a lot of beginners use. She's not a beginner, but she
Yep.
prefers to install packages not through the terminal, but I think she prefers to do it like via graphical
Hmm.
interface.
Yep.
What do you think? Your thoughts on Tonarchi?
I will definitely go with the. Actually, I'm planning to give it a try. So I want to do the same experiment with my friends with that we did with NixOS, but this time I'm planning to give him this. I want to see how that's gonna go. I want to see his the best way to really, because the thing is that from our perspective is obviously we've used the CLI, we've used Linux, we've used all these tools, so we're familiar with at least the basics. Like you don't remember the time when it was when you didn't know how to exit Vim, right?
Yeah,
You just don't remember
you
that time,
forget
right? It's
about that.
it's kind
Yep.
of like yeah. But I experienced that time with my friend because he has no experience in that area, and so I'm planning to give him that, or try to do the experiment just to see how he what is his input from a pure beginner that has literally no CLI experience, no Vim. I mean, it took him a few tries, and he's like, okay, I get the flow here, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, I told him like type in. Literally, I was typing and tell like NVIM space. Like that. That's how basic we go.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told him how to type everything over the phone. And once he loaded Vim, I was like, okay, so you see this, and the first thing I told him is that turn on the line number so I can tell you which how to go. And I was doing the exact same thing on my end, so I can follow the lines. I was like, are you on line 4? Are you on line 6?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I had to verbally explain how to use Vim, and that was a great way for me to, I guess, solidify my knowledge
Yeah.
on Vim. And then I had to explain to him that there was multiple ways to jump down, jump up, go to a certain text, and so he really liked it. Like he's already developing his own way of jumping. He really likes the line number and then J or K to go up and down the line numbers. I'm gonna teach him how to use the search and many more things. But yeah, I definitely want to give that a try.
Yeah. That makes sense. We have in the chat here some some comments. So I see Anonymous says NixOS is not great for a beginner. Not standard Linux. Pretty tough. So for someone new, yeah, it would be pretty
Yeah.
tough for me as well, I think. How did you feel it,
hmm
Ruben? Did you feel that it was difficult? Is it hard to get used
Uh,
to?
well, Mm, not necessarily. I do also use AI a little bit to how kind of help me at least look at things. The good thing is that the AI cannot really, like Cloud Code, cannot really tamper with the files because everything is write protected and everything. And so I just have it read the file and just try to explain to me. And then as I do it, I'm like, okay, I get the flow here. It's like, okay, you can define the options. The hard part for me was figuring out where to find all of the, I guess, options for every single program, because you can define special options or criteria or arguments um, for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can pretty much do your entire NeoVim config. I mean, I'm guessing that's what you can do, but you can do like an nvim flake, and then you can put everything that you have in your NeoVim config in there, and have it as a flake. But I would know how to translate it directly. And so, and what I see now is that a lot of like packages that normally you'd run on a standard Linux, and I agree that yeah, absolutely, it's not standard Linux. Normally you'll run on standard Linux. It's like there's a Nix way to do it, and I have to say to Cloud Code, this is Nix. Do it the Nix way.
Mm-hmm.
But there's lots of barriers. There's lots of barriers. But I think those barriers are there in place, so that once you get into the environment and once you do set it up and figure it out, to contain this so that you can move the pack, or like the entire package thing from one to the other without breaking it. I think that's why it's so, it has all these barriers, which I don't understand yet. I mean, I just started reading this blog about this guy that literally was using Linux for 5 years and still didn't know how to use it, and he's now relearning it basically.
Mm-hmm.
So he wrote an entire blog about his experience. So I found it pretty interesting. I think it's a great thing to kind of, especially if it works for your use case. I think it has to work for your use case. I jump a lot through computers. and I wouldn't mind spending the time since I haven't done it at all. I haven't spent the time to configure my full setup yet. I wouldn't mind spending time configuring it now. And if I just want to jump machines, I can just package everything and just send the flake, and then move on. So I think it's a great for the particular use case. Definitely not a beginner friendly.
Mm. Now, Luatux Rebel mentions here as well about Kashi OS. That's the one that DistroTube switched to, right? Kashi.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I don't know which one, Kashi, Tonarchy, and why. I still, yeah, I watched the video about Kashi OS, and you still have to specify a few options. You have to choose, I
Yep.
don't know, the window manager and I don't know. I don't know. I just want, yeah, go ahead.
I think Tony's packaged, um
Everything, yeah.
opinionated. Yeah, I think that's a great way. Like, I think Omarchi to begin with was very kind of like, I don't know, very opinionated. It didn't really leave room, because it was driven by the vision of like, oh, making it like this perfect thing. But I feel like it was packaged with too many things, and even when I installed it, it was just way too much. I feel like, Tony's approach to the system and to the whole package thing is that he wants to leave you room for your creativity, but give you sort of like the base floor, so you don't have to go and do art from scratch. Because yeah, you may want to, and it's interesting, but I think for someone that just wants to get up and going right away, or start exploring, that is the fastest way to do it by far.
Yep. Yeah, because you don't have like 1,000 different options that you can choose from. No, you have two
Yeah.
options, right? And
Hmm.
if you're a beginner, go with this XFCE desktop. Or
Yep.
if you're more advanced and you know what a window manager is and you have used one at least on Mac OS, because I have used,
Hmm.
well, I use a window manager every day on Mac OS. I think that would be the option for me, this OXWM, because I cannot live without a window manager nowadays. You know that now that I got used to, yep, I have to use one. So
Hmm.
I like that. I like that I don't have to choose between a lot of different options. I have two options. If I choose
Yep.
the oxidized one, everything is installed for me, just the base, so that I can
Hmm.
start building from there. Which
Yep.
is which I think is amazing.
Yeah. No, it's great. And he talked at the end of the video. He talked about, possibly exploring the option of you basically being able to, kind of pick and choose what you want to, like, sort of like build your own from here, which I think will be a great thing. Because then if you have, let's say, three options, one is okay, beginner, then you have a little more advanced, and then you have pick and choose. And you
Mhm.
know that once you go into the pick and choose, you're there for a reason.
Yeah,
Like, a,
makes
a
sense.
beginner will never end up in the pick and choose because they wouldn't know what to pick and choose. But
Exactly.
someone like me and you can actually explore that, and it's like, oh,
I don't want to.
maybe,
There's someone that can but doesn't want to. I don't want to.
yeah,
I
yeah,
want
yeah,
to for something stable to be picked or chosen for me, and I just use
hmm,
that oxidized, the good option. But there's people that can and want to pick and choose, so
hmm, hmm,
that would be a great idea. Yep.
yeah. Yeah. So I think so far, what I saw from the alpha release, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to give it a try. As a matter of fact, when I watched the video, I was like, "Oh, how come I don't have a USB and like I was ready to like nuke this laptop with the NixOS and try that right away."
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of hoping that we'll have the, like, I was kind of hoping that I'm gonna have the option to do it, like maybe while we're chatting, just to give it a try and test it, or do something like that sometimes when we're chatting. But I haven't bought, the capture card yet, so you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing unless I put like a camera aiming at it, which is not that great.
Oh, there's pretty
Yeah.
cheap capture cards. I bought one when I installed Arch. That's what I used. Let me
Hmm.
show you which one I
Hmm.
got. and it's good. It's decent. You know, it's just a little
Hmm.
USB thingy.
Oh
Let
yeah.
me let me see which one it is. I think it is this one. Oh, what
The
happened?
Gato Cam
This
link or no?
this one.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think this one. Not exactly sure, but it looks like this. I don't know where I have
Okay.
it. Have it somewhere. But yeah, these used to
Yeah,
be
looks great.
expensive, right? I think
Hmm.
in the
Yeah,
past they used to
absolutely.
be expensive. So yeah, I think this one is decent enough. How's your channel going?
Well, it's going. Yeah, I mean, I'm putting it together. Yeah, still, it's not ready to show off or get started. I'd like to at least like get a one video up, and once I get the first video, then we'll talk about it.
Oh, okay. You have a channel name picked already or not
Yeah,
yet?
yeah, I have the channel name picked out.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm I don't have any computers left. I have four, which are the ones there in the background. I don't know if you can see
Hmm.
them.
Yep, I can see him.
My phone is, I don't know, it's just unfocusing, but all of
I
them are
noticed that.
being
Yeah.
used. Yeah. Do you see that it's, I don't know, why is it
Hmm.
doing that?
Probably because of lighting or something that when you move your face, it's triggering it. It's probably lighting.
Could be.
Maybe
Maybe,
maybe something in the background.
yeah, maybe there's, let's see if we, okay, no, it doesn't matter. But all of them are used at the moment. I had
Hmm.
one of them was free, but I'm using it now. So I don't have somewhere to install it. I'm not gonna install it on a virtual machine because it doesn't make sense to install it there. I would install it on real hardware to test it out,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, yeah. And there's one thing that I came across this week that kind of piqued my interest is especially for someone like me that installs um, Linux on lots of machines. There's a and it's an older video. I forget which channel exactly did it, but there's a network installer or network bootable basically installer where you can host the ISOs and everything on a Docker container, but I didn't watch the full video fully, and it piqued my interest because imagine just having a place where you load all of your ISOs, all of your sort of pre-picked systems, and then you can
oh,
just give users a try. It was something. It was something XYZ at the end. It was something like network boot or something like that.
actually, netboot XYZ Windows. That is one of my first videos. This
Really?
this one, but
Wow.
I did it for Windows 11, so you can install
Uh huh.
Windows 11 over the network, right?
Oh wow. Yes. Okay. I didn't know you had to. I've never watched that video. Okay.
It's really old.
Probably because it was yeah, probably because it was titled Windows 11.
Yeah, and the thumbnail is shit and the audio is shit, man.
Yeah.
It's good content, but the quality
Hmm.
is like terrible. But yeah, netboot XYZ, pretty cool. I installed Windows, which
So.
is difficult
Hmm.
to do it with this tool,
Hmm.
but Linux, you can
Hmm.
install any Linux distro with this thing and just have it sit in your network. You just start your computer, connect it through Ethernet, and if you
Hmm.
enable Pixie Boot, you can install it right away. So,
Okay. Is there an actual USB that you have to carry with sort of
nope,
like your bootable thing or
no. This is over the network. This,
okay.
as long as you're connected via Ethernet to your computer
Hmm.
and you have
Okay.
this server, the NetBoots XYZ server, up,
Okay.
when you turn the computer on, it asks you, do you want to install via USB or something? Or if you have network boot enabled on the computer, it's going to detect it and you can install it that way.
So you don't have to have anything. You just
Nope.
go into the BIOS and just enable NetBoot or
Yep.
whatever, and
Exactly.
oh wow. Okay. I was in the I because I just came across it. I was planning to research it a little bit more because I think it will be a great thing for me to sort of pick and choose prepackaged systems like Tonarchy and then just put the ISO there and just have it available so I don't have to carry USBs with me all the
Yeah.
time.
And what about this other one? When I was one day I needed to install Windows. I didn't even use Windows here, but I needed to install it, so I just created the video, right? But when I
Hmm.
was figuring that out, I also saw about this other Ventoy in which you can have a lot of different ISOs in a USB drive. What do you
Hmm.
think about that one?
That sounds really interesting. Yeah, but it's still you have to. I don't know. I really like the idea of networking, but this probably will be interesting too because I can just load a bunch of Linux distributions
Mhm.
on my thumb drive and then just carry it with me.
Exactly. A
Okay,
lot of them. Not
well that's
only
interesting.
one, right? But you have like
Yeah,
10, 15 there, and you don't worry about reflashing the USB, which sucks, right? Just one
yeah,
for all of them.
and then oftentimes you buy like a 32 gigabyte one and you load up one Linux distribution which takes like a
Yeah.
gigabyte and you're like, ugh.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And then you put like with the I used to write with the pen, okay?
Yep.
Mac OS something,
Hmm.
right? And then
Hmm.
you have to format it,
Yep. Yep.
flash it again with another one, and yeah, it becomes messy. But I think this Ventoy option could actually be good. I haven't tried it.
Have you have you used like the actual CLI to, I guess, write the ISOs to the drive?
Oh yeah, in Mac
Uh,
OS, that's the way that I
yeah.
do it. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
In Mac OS,
I
that's
found it more reliable than most of the other GUIs. I mean, obviously with Balena Etcher or, because I've done a lot of Raspberry Pis too, with like the Raspberry Pi imager.
mm-hmm.
Um, those are great, but I really like the simplicity of the command. Once you figure out what the command does and how to specify things, once you do that, it's just so simple. It just, you know, bare bones.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I don't in Mac OS, not all of the options work anyway, right? Because
Yep.
you don't
Yep.
have Rufus there. Like in Windows, you have
Hmm.
Rufus, right? Or
Yep. Yep.
Balena. I tried that
Hmm.
Balena Etcher, didn't work. So the easiest way, like you said, was doing it in the
Hmm.
terminal in Mac OS. No issues, and it
Hmm.
just worked.
Yep. Exactly. If you don't mind me asking, but what do you use? Like, what's the general idea of your service? What do you use your service as a YouTube creators, or just is it like home lab or what is it for? If you can share, of course.
My servers,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're just. Let me show them to you. I show them in my videos sometimes. Let's see here. I just
Hmm.
have. Hold on.
Nice. You're a one password user. I like it.
Yep. So I have DNS here because I have DNS. Look
Hmm.
at the domain here at the top, right? So I have
Okay.
DNS enabled. I have
Okay.
Docker, these three Docker machines, and I'm running Docker Swarm in them. Uh,
Hmm.
I have, hold on, these containers running, right? So on those three Docker machines that I showed you right now, this is one,
Yep.
2, and 3. Those are the ones that are here actually, 1, 2, and 3.
Hmm.
They're part
Hmm.
of a
Hmm.
swarm, right? So I have several different containers. Um, do I use them a lot? To be honest with you, when I'm testing stuff with databases, I use this, for example, or
Hmm.
Redis. Where's Redis?
Oh, I see
Redis
you have unified controller there. Okay.
Unify. Yeah, Unify controller is there exactly, and
Okay.
Redis. The Zabbix server depends on Redis, right? So.
Hmm.
mm, I use them, and this is running as a container as well. The interface, this XOA, Zen Orchestra, which is what I use
Hmm. Hmm.
for the XCP and G servers that I have,
Hmm. Hmm.
is
Hmm.
running here in a container as
Okay.
well. This one, right? So, um,
I see you have Jellyfin as well.
yep,
How do you
Jellyfin.
like Jellyfin?
It's amazing. It has one problem though. If you use it like a normie, it works great. If you have Jellyfin installed on a server and you have your storage in that same server, and Jellyfin doesn't have to access storage through the network, it works fine. But I have Jellyfin running here in this server right now, Docker 3,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
my media is not there. My media is in a different server. My media is
Hmm.
in this storage cluster that I have here,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yes.
Jellyfin doesn't like that. Jellyfin likes the media to be local because these are mounted as NFS. There's an NFS drive that
Yep.
is mounted here, and that's how
Okay.
Jellyfin accesses the data,
Hmm.
but it doesn't like it. So that's the only complaint that I have with Jellyfin, that it doesn't work well with network um, media, just local
Even though
stuff.
they're technically on the same machine, just different network
Yeah, well,
range
but
or.
it's different machines, right? Because this is a Docker 3 VM, and this is a
Hmm.
completely different machine. This is another Debian server, right? These
Hmm.
one, two, and three, there are three different servers. So even if they're
Okay.
on the same network, Jellyfin doesn't like it. It works, but it's trial and error. It doesn't work all the time, right? So
Hmm.
mm, that's the only complaint that I have with Jellyfin. But other than that, it's great. I have some load balancers. I use these for Kubernetes because I have three control
Hmm.
plane nodes here, Kubernetes, and three worker
Hmm.
nodes, right? So all of
Okay.
these six are Kubernetes. I use these
Okay.
load balancers for Kubernetes. The cluster is not up right now. I have to create it again. I haven't done it, but I'm in Docker. I'm still in Docker because the plan was to
Hmm.
migrate from Docker Swarm to Kubernetes. I deployed everything, but I just didn't continue, right? So mainly what I use this for is home labbing, but it's
Hmm.
learning, man. You learn.
Okay.
You have no
Yeah.
idea how much I have learned with all this stuff.
It looks complex to me. I've only dabbled enough. Like I've looked at some videos, but I haven't really created anything with Docker Swarm or Kubernetes or none of that. But the whole idea is that if, let's say, one is overloaded, it spawns another cluster somewhere else and then shares the load, right? Is that pretty much how it works?
Exactly. Just to give you an idea, I have these three servers right now. Okay. Docker 1,
Hmm.
2, and 3. Let's say each one is running in a different server, right? The
Hmm.
servers that you see here on the back, right?
Yep.
So
Okay. Hmm.
one, one,
Yeah, I can
two,
see it.
and three. There,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The fourth one is a Proxmox that I
Hmm.
have running,
Hmm.
right? So let's say that, for example, I need to do maintenance on Docker 3. Let's say Docker 3, right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
if I come here and I shut this off, because look at this, this is running in XCP3 server,
Hmm.
right?
Okay. Hmm.
Docker 1 is running on XCP1, Docker 2 on XCP2, and this one on XCP3. But let's say that I need to update Docker machine, right? And I need to restart it. Look what's gonna happen. I'm going to stop the VM completely, kill it,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And let's see what Docker Swarm does. Notice that it detected that it went down. And Docker
Hmm.
Swarm is automatically going to bring up the containers that were killed from that machine, is gonna bring them up on these two machines. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In theory, let's see if it
Yeah.
works.
Okay.
So let's just give it a second. That's the only reason why I have a Docker Swarm cluster, so
Hmm.
that
Okay. And you've
um
spread the containers so that load bound, like just for load purposes, or just in general. Because I see that like the unified controller is in Docker 2, but then you have traffic on Docker 1.
uh
Um,
yeah, the swarm, you see them,
oh, there it is. It
you
did
see
it. Yep.
all of them popped up, right?
Hmm.
And they were
Yep.
balanced. You can see here the time. 9 seconds, 9 seconds,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah, it says it's still starting. Yep.
yeah, Docker Swarm automatically
There you
decided,
go.
okay, I'm gonna put 3 here and I'm gonna put 3 here. I don't know how it decides. I guess it decides
Hmm.
based on resources that are being used on the remaining servers. So
Okay.
yeah, but the reason I did this is because I had a single server in the past, right? And it
Hmm.
worked
Hmm.
fine. But if you need to bring
Hmm.
it down, especially when you're
Yeah.
playing around a lot, you need to bring it down.
Hmm.
I used to have DNS running as a container. That's why you see this bind 9 container here. This used to be DNS.
Hmm.
It's not optimal. You
Hmm.
shouldn't have DNS running as a container because you'll bring it down. DNS will go down. No, it's not. So I don't have DNS here. But this gives you redundancy, right? I can kill one of the
Yeah.
servers and everything keeps working. All of my services keep working as usual. But
Yeah.
the only thing
And
is
so
that if
do you plan on staying with Docker Swarm, or do you plan on staying or actually converting to Kubernetes?
oh yeah, I am going to switch over to Kubernetes fully in the future. I don't know. Docker Swarm works good. I think it depends. Do you have to use the Kubernetes because you see that everyone is using it? Not exactly.
Hmm.
Depending.
Hmm.
Let's
Hmm.
say that it's a small company. You
Hmm.
can keep them running with this. What I showed you right now, small company wouldn't need to run Kubernetes, right? So
Hmm.
Docker Swarm for me works actually pretty good. It's pretty
I'm
decent.
guessing it's more maintenance for the Kubernetes cluster and everything is set up overall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kubernetes is really complex to learn
Hmm.
and to deploy. Not deploy. Deploy is simple, right? Because you
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
come here
Hmm.
to documentation and it's hundreds of pages actually of documentation, but you will be able to install it. Not too simple, if you want to have a real
Hmm.
cluster like this is
Hmm.
not Minikube, or I don't know what they are called, that are like
Hmm.
not real clusters. Let's see which ones are on running. But this is a real cluster, right? Real
Hmm. Hmm.
Kubernetes cluster with 3 control plane nodes. So it's not as simple as Docker Swarm to set up, it's
Okay.
it's more involved. And to maintain, if you need to update the Kubernetes version, uh, but this is what corporations use nowadays. They use
Okay.
Kubernetes. So I guess it depends. If you want to become employable, uh,
Hmm.
Kubernetes is the right way, and install it in your home lab to practice and to learn.
Hmm. Now, if I recall correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but your Zen orchestra actually runs on 4 shared machines or 3 shared machines. Is that how it is?
Then orchestra, no, just one. Look at here, there's the container, XOA.
Okay.
But, right, if I kill that container, Docker Swarm itself is going to bring it up somewhere else. And
Hmm.
yep, look, it came back up, right?
Okay. Yeah, it's moving them back to. But
It
what I was
doesn't.
trying to get
It
at
doesn't move them
is.
back. Docker Swarm does
Oh, okay.
not move them back. You have to rebalance the containers, right? Because
Oh, okay.
these
Okay.
are gonna stay here for the rest of their lives. Um,
Okay.
but I got an alert, right? On my watch, I got an alert that says, Docker 2. I don't know if you heard that, but it says
I heard it. Yep.
that Docker 2 was just restarted, right? So I
Okay.
I would have to manually come in here. You could create a script, well, actually that's a good
Hmm.
idea. Create a script that,
Hmm.
detects if it's running, depending on how many containers each one of the servers is running, and if there's one that is running less than X amount of containers, rebalance all of them. And rebalancing means just stopping the container and starting it again. So it's going to be
Hmm.
started somewhere else. If I Let's do it with XOA, right? XOA.
Hmm.
So if you notice right now, it's running in Docker 2, right? But
Hmm.
if I
Hmm.
come here, I'm gonna open a new tab, and I'm just going to go to Docker 3. Doesn't matter. I can go to whichever server I want, right? So
Hmm. Yep.
um XOA is, yeah, it's part of the stack. So if I just do Docker stack remove XOA, okay, it's saying that it's removing the service. You're gonna see that it goes down here. Went down. It's
Hmm.
down right
Yep.
now. So I will
Okay.
not be able to access. If I refresh this, it's dead,
Yep.
right?
Doesn't work.
Yep.
Yep. Makes sense. Okay.
But if I just start Docker, how was it to start it? Deploy XOA. This is the way that you start it. Docker stack deploy. And where do you think Docker is going to bring it up?
On the last one, the third container.
Yeah, because it has less resources being
Yep.
used. It
Hmm.
automatically, without me doing anything, it brought it up
Yep.
there. But it didn't do it because I ran the command in
Got it.
Docker 3. No, it
Okay.
doesn't matter where you run it.
Yes.
Docker Swarm is the one
Okay.
that takes that decision and brings it up there. So,
Yeah, this seems very simple. I think for a small company or small organization, I think this is perfect. It's easy to understand. I mean, I'm sure if you take time to explain to me the Kubernetes, I'll probably get the whole idea. But at least what you're showing me, I think this is a perfect example of what I need for my stuff. Now, the question is, did you have a video that explains how you link up your three computers together so they can share the resources?
no, that is looks easy right now. That is already set up, but it took me months. It took me a long time, but that is coming soon. Okay, so
Okay.
just
Okay.
hang in there, and it's gonna come
Okay.
soon. Because having a single server, this should be up now. Let's see if I refresh it. Yeah, came back up. If you have a single server, doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
It's good for your home lab. It's good for learning, but real life, that's not gonna, unless the company doesn't care about redundancy and they don't care about having a single server, and if that server dies, everything dies, I guess you're good. But yeah, I will um I will create a course that explains how to set this up, because you need three servers. You need to make them talk to each other. You need to make them part of a cluster, everything. But
Hmm.
yeah, that
How
those
far
are the
away are you
plans.
from that course?
From that one, oh man, it's gonna take time. It's not coming soon. But
Oh,
I'm starting. I cannot tell you what I'm starting
okay.
with yet, but the problem that I see a lot is that people try to run before they can walk, right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
I cannot start a course if people don't know the basics yet. So I have to cover the basics first. And because to
Okay.
become good at all this, you need to have a strong foundation, I think. So
Hmm. Hmm.
those are the plans. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Well, I'm interested to find out as soon as it's ready.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of tutorials and videos and all that, but like, I'm interested to see your take on that.
Yeah.
I feel like you explain things in a different way, and at least to me, it clicks. So.
Yeah. Because I don't know, people, I don't know, explain it differently. Maybe because they want you to come back and engage into, so they don't explain that well. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it's tough. Someone that helped me a lot with all this was Lawrence. From Lawrence
Hmm.
Systems. Have you watched his videos?
Yep. I've watched
Yep.
them. Yep.
That's the reason. Let's see. That's actually the reason why I decided to go with XCPNG many, many years ago, right? Because
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
not too many people go with XCPNG. most of the people go with Proxmox, which is what is being used now. Proxmox. I have
Hmm.
a Proxmox machine, but that's the fourth machine that you see there in the background.
Hmm.
But um, I don't know.
No, I like the other one better.
XCPNG.
Yeah, I like that one better. It looks more appealing to me. What I can see at least.
But I used
I know the Proxmox is more, I guess, more mainstream. You know, more people seem to use it. But um, in a few sentences, can you explain, like, I guess, your take on why one is better, or like one is preferred by you over the other?
um XCPNG because it's what I started with, and I just got used to
Hmm.
it, and it's pretty reliable, and that's what I've
Hmm.
been using for the past, I don't know, 4 years, I think, something like that.
Okay.
Proxmox. The only reason why I decided to go with Proxmox is because I needed to bring up Windows machine, right? And I needed
Hmm.
to, let's see, is it on? But I needed to have nested virtualization enabled on that machine. So what does that mean? That you can run virtual machines inside that machine, right? So
Okay.
I try to do that in XCPNG,
Hmm.
and you can run the Windows VM in XCPNG, not a problem at all.
Holy cow! Look at the RAM usage, how it's spiked up.
Yeah, spiked up.
That's why Tony's video is like, stop using Windows, stop using RAM.
Stop
Did you
using
watch that
RAM.
video?
Yeah, yeah.
uh
So with Proxmox, you can have nested virtualization, and it works
hmm.
pretty decently. Works good. Something that was not possible with XCPNG. I'm not sure if it's possible now, but it was not possible the last time that
Hmm.
I checked. Nested
Okay.
virtualization. Um, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how good Proxmox. I don't have much experience. I don't have experience with the cluster in Proxmox, right? Because I just have a single machine here, so I couldn't tell
Hmm.
you which one I like best. I'm more used
Okay.
to this interface, you know, the
Hmm.
the XOA interface. I'm more used to this, but I don't have too much experience with Proxmox, to be honest. And I don't
Okay.
have three other computers so that I can run a cluster here, but it has
Hmm.
a lot of built-in features. It seems like Ceph. Uh, you can have a Ceph cluster directly. Where is it here? So um, I don't know. I'm not too experienced there, but it allows me to run this. I don't use the Windows. Well, sometimes I need to use a Windows computer. You know,
Hmm.
uh, that's when this comes handy. So on this computer, I can run VirtualBox, and I can deploy machines inside. The
Okay.
Windows machine, which is like, I don't know,
Hmm.
3 layers of virtualization. But yeah, I don't know. There's more support for Proxmox. Okay, so
Okay.
there's more documentation, there's more help, there's more forums
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
Proxmox. It took me way too long to figure all of the stuff out in XCPNG because there's not a lot of documentation. I have a lot of documentation because I take notes, but
Hmm.
I'll create something. I'll make sure
Okay.
to create something. Why is it
Oh, it
so
took a long time to fire
slow,
up.
man? Yeah, extremely
Hmm.
slow. And this, it has a lot of resources. Let's see. This one has 20 24 gigs of RAM, right? And
Wow.
I don't know how many cores, 8 cores. But I don't know why it takes too long to start. But once it starts, it's good. It
Okay.
works good. This is the Windows running inside Yeah, but way more documentation and support from Proxmox. If you look for videos, you will find a lot of
Hmm.
videos related to Proxmox. XCPNG, not too many. You know, not too many.
Okay. It's gonna be only you and Lawrence, right?
I
When you
guess
make the course.
there's way more people out there, but something that I really like. Let's see, a lot of videos really lack info. Which VM do you use on Mac OS? What do
I
you
use
mean?
UTM. I
Oh,
think he means like the virtual
oh, the
machine.
hypervisor on Mac OS.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't, because this is an M series machine, right? So ARM architecture. I will not be able to run a lot of stuff, so I just don't do it.
Well,
I
I run Windows 11 on UTM,
Oh yeah, and it
and it
works
works really
good.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, you can install pretty much everything.
I haven't tried, but at least the stuff that I needed, because I have to. I don't want to carry a Windows machine with me, so I just have a MacBook M4,
Mhm.
and I have 24 gigabytes of RAM available on it, and when I fire up the UTM, works pretty good. I have to use for programming these lighting systems. I have to use proprietary software, as Tony
Mm,
would say, proprietary garbage. But
UTM,
yeah,
let's
I have
see.
to use it. Yeah,
I have heard about that. UTM.
but you can install pretty much, because it's a ARM. You can't install Windows 10. You can only install Windows 11.
Oh, that okay. You can install Windows 11, the ARM version, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah, yep,
Okay. What is this? Is this the one? UTM.
yep, yep. That's the one.
Because we used to have what I used to use in the past was VMware Fusion on Mac OS. But
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
Broadcom, they bought VMware and they fucked everything up. And now VMware is free again after, I don't know, after a few years or I don't know. But this is what I used to use in the past, VMware Fusion. I don't know if it still exists for Mac OS. Download Fusion, which was pretty good, for virtualizing stuff on macOS. But now is Broadcom. So yeah, God damn it, if you if you if you log in, you can download
Mm-hmm.
VMware. Um, yep.
Okay.
But
I
let's.
I I also one time I was, because I support a couple of restaurants that still have their POS is running on XP, Windows XP,
Oh
and
man.
I was able to fire up a specific version of, I think it was a Service Pack 3. Was able to fire it up on the UTM. So I had a Windows XP running on a Mac OS.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Man, that's
very limited. Not a lot
interesting.
of things worked, but yeah, very limited.
Let me show you a trick. Show you a trick real quick. Let's see. Let's see if it works. I don't know if it's gonna work. Let's see. Uh, I don't think it's gonna work. XOCLI. Let me show you something really cool about XCPNG. So, just gonna open a new tab here. I have a script, VM new. This script, okay?
Hmm.
Deploy multiple VMs. So, enter each VM name to deploy on a separate line. Just gonna call this one Rumen. This Rumen, okay?
Okay.
Rumen test, right? Just gonna save this
Okay.
file and quit. And I specify here the settings that I want to give to this machine, right? On which
Hmm.
device I want to deploy it. XCP3. Let's see if I have resources there. XCP3. XCP3 has 20 gigs of RAM free. Okay, so I'm gonna do it there.
Wow, you've got some big machines.
Yep, yep, yep. I specify the swap size, auto power on. No, I don't want it to auto power on. Install Docker. No, 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 no. I'll leave these to yes here. How much RAM did I specify? 4 gigs of RAM. Okay. And yep, there are common values. Okay, let me save this file, and I get this message showing me just, you want to create the VM listed above. It's going to be called room and test. Let's see if it works.
Mhm.
I don't think it's going to work. But these are some scripts that I created um, that do a lot of stuff. My router makes
Mhm.
sure that my router is reachable. My DNS server is reachable. And it
Mhm.
checks that because it's going to add a record to my DNS server so that I can reach the machine via DNS
Mhm.
afterwards, right? So
Mhm.
let's see. But I haven't done it in a while. So it's deploying the VM right now via XOCLI. That is another tool that is created by the XCP-ng team, XOCLI, which is the one that allows
Okay.
you to do all this, right? So let's see if it created the machine. Starting the VM room and test. If we come here, uh, VMs, room and test.
There it is. Wow.
But not only that, right? It's swap details, proxy details, setting the shell to CSH. Now is querying my MikroTik router
Mhm.
to reserve the IP address. So it reserved the IP address on the MikroTik router. This is the IP
Wow.
that it
Okay.
got, that
Mhm.
88.143, and it did reserve it.
Mhm.
It added a DNS entry to my DNS server, and it pushed it to GitHub as well because I
Wow.
configured that,
Okay.
right? Because I have a
Mhm.
GitHub repo where I have my DNS stuff. It's a private repo, of course. And okay, let's see. Let's see if it finishes. But the reason I did this is because there's a point in which you need to create a lot of different machines and come in here. You can create templates here, right? And you can create a
Mhm.
machine from a template, but then you still have to reserve the IP on your router at the entry to your DNS server and
Mhm.
rename the machine. Or so I just decided to do it this way, and works. Sometimes I pass 3 machines to it, creates the three of them. I just wait a couple minutes, then I come back and they're up. So that's something.
Can Can you share with us what kind of DNS server software I guess you're using, or what are you running as a DNS server?
Oh, that's bind 9. Okay, so those are the servers I use it here, DNS 1, 2, and
Mhm.
3, right? So
Okay.
that is, for example, let's see, DNS 3. I haven't logged into the DNS servers in a long time.
So
Okay.
all they run is just bind 9, nothing else.
Yep.
It's just a Debian machine that just runs that as a system D service, I'm guessing.
Exactly. Just bind 9.
Okay.
That's it. It doesn't have any GUI. I guess it has a GUI. I'm not exactly sure, but I just configure them via CLI. And
Okay.
it's rebooting the VM right now. That's the last step. Let's see. Room and test. It even creates a snapshot, right? So when you create a
Oh wow.
machine, you want to create a snapshot. If I come here to snapshots, oh, not yet. Okay, we're going to see. In theory, it's supposed to create a snapshot. Oh, there it is. So
Hmm.
it created this snapshot. Uh, yep, snapshot successfully created, right? So if I need to go back to this machine on its default state, I can use this snapshot. But all of this is scripts. And it's like, I don't know, a lot of different scripts that I created that allow you to do this. Now, if I come here and I just do SSH roman test without me doing anything, I didn't have to add
Hmm.
the entry to my
Yep.
Etsy to my SSH
Hmm.
config file. No, the script
Hmm.
added it for me. It added my public key to this machine. So as you can see, it's a pretty nice
Yep.
and automated way of deploying machines. You don't do it this way nowadays because there's Ansible. People do it with Ansible, or I think you could do it with Terraform as well. But I haven't learned. I used Ansible in the past, but I haven't learned it, like to 100%.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's that's what I use the machines for, home labbing and some services here and there, and learning,
Okay.
practicing a lot of stuff.
Very nice. And can you share what kind of router you use? The MikroTik router that you use?
Oh
Which
yeah,
model is it?
let's see. Let me see if I can show that. Let me just switch here.
And I apologize to your audience if we switch from Linux and interesting stuff to networking and stuff like that.
Yeah, networking is my main topic. That's what I do the
It's your bread and
most.
butter, right?
Yep,
Isn't it also what you do for work?
that's what I do for work. Yep, exactly. Okay.
It's primarily what I do for work too. Um,
Yep.
I set up networks, and I just work in a residential area though. So I just set up networks for people. So I don't have to go that complex, but um,
This is the
you have
one
to
that I'm
understand
using
quite a
right
bit.
now.
Okay.
Wi-Fi is not good. The Wi-Fi is not good
Okay.
actually,
Okay.
but it's pretty cool because I have two ISPs, right? This is my primary
Hmm.
ISP. This is my backup ISP, the ones that you see here, right?
Hmm.
So
Yep.
I just do failover between my two ISPs, which is pretty
Hmm.
pretty handy, because of work, I cannot be for too long without internet. So if one of them goes down, the other one comes back up and stuff like that. But yep,
Yep.
yeah. I
And yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was thinking to switch the topics now because remember I was telling you that we can talk about or try to look at the Project 99, I think it was called,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
Primeagen.
Share that with us. You have it there on your side.
I don't, but I guess you can look it up. It's basically GitHub, the Primeagen 99 NeoVim AI agent done right.
Okay, let
That's
me
what he
switch
called
to your
it.
screen so you can show us there. Let me know if you're
Okay,
there.
1 second. Uh,
Because I
yeah,
don't
we're
know.
there right now.
Hold on. Okay, I can see it now. What is that?
Yeah.
99.
So he calls it the AI agent that basically NeoVim deserves, and it's really interesting the way it works. You almost have to see the video, um, but it uses open code, and I think it uses some API if I read it correctly. I just watched the video and I got super intrigued, so I was gonna try to set it up and use it. But ideally, it uses API or something, and it communicates with open code. But basically, the way he explained it is, you pretty much start a function and you define sort of like what the function, like what kind of parameters and everything it passes through, and just the general area. And you just use the keybinds, which, depending on which ones you want to use, it actually fills in the function. So it reviews the context of your project and fills out the function as best as it can. Um, so I don't know if we want to like watch, like open the video and actually see what it is.
Yeah, we
Maybe we
can.
can do that on
Which video
on
is
your
it?
end. Let me find it. I literally just Googled it because I remember seeing it on one of his streams and I was super intrigued by it.
Send it over in Discord
Yeah.
so that I can open it up here.
Mm, Yeah, I think that's what he. Yeah, this is the video. This is the video.
Let's see.
And
Here.
I had similar idea for an AI agent for NeoVim or like a plugin to create based on the like AI usage that I have right now. I think this will be something that would be really nice, and it will be helpful for actually someone that wants to learn, I guess.
Let's see. Can you listen to it there? You let me know if you can listen to it or not. Okay.
All right, I wanted to kind of show you a little bit of the
I
thing I've
cannot hear
been
it, but I've
working
already
on. I
watched it.
think
As
it's
long as our
pretty
audience
fun.
can hear
So
it.
we're gonna go over to this.
You cannot hear there?
No, I cannot hear it here.
Hold on. Oh, no, but on the live stream, can you check chat? Is there someone in
Oh,
chat? Can someone in chat let me know if the audio works there? Yep. Okay, so chat hears it.
yeah. As long as they hear it, that's fine.
What is it about? Let's
This
see.
file. This file is largely generated by AI, and how I generated it is as follows. I've created my own version of maybe how I want to be able to run AI because I've always had this problem. I love tab autocomplete. Favorite. It's my favorite, so I love using that. Sometimes I find it annoying though, so I have it on. I have it off right now. I'm relearning how to type on QWERTY. I've ditched Dvorak in the last few weeks, and so because of that, I have no AI autocomplete. I have to just, I have to hand roll everything. But I decided, hey, I want to create something that allows me to still use AI and use it in the way I like it. And for me, I've always been someone that liked it in a very like narrow area. So here, let me. There's a box art concept I'm working on. It's a good idea. I like it. I like it. All right. So whoopsie poopsies. Let me go like this. So here's the general idea that I think is going to be pretty cool, which is whenever I'm working with one of these AIs, I have this kind of problem, which is that I kind of look at the AI like on this big old graph right here. And so it starts off where the accuracy of what I'm requesting is dependent on how big it is. It doesn't matter what you're doing, accuracy always falls off, right? So that's why autocompletes tend to be right like pretty high percent of the time, like 100% correct, not mostly correct, not somewhat correct, but 100% correct, is because the amount of stuff they're attempting to request is really small. And as you go further, the amount of error that is reduced because every single file it has to read, every single piece of context it has to get, there's just more chance for an error to be showing up somewhere within here. And also, the next thing you know, you get a result and you have to look at the result, and then it's your job to take the result, actually make the changes, and then get it to where you need it to be so that you can continue on, operating correctly. And this little thing right here, this little process of querying the LLMs, sitting there waiting for it, AI take like a really large back seat to programming, and I find that I just am not nearly as engaged. I'm not nearly as motivated. I find it very unpleasant. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Is I actually really don't like the vibe coding style, and so I've been trying to think of a better way to do that because I don't mind the autocomplete though. Sometimes I find it annoying, but for the most part, it's pretty good. In the vibe coding part, I just find it just infuriates me so much of the time because even if it is 80% correct, I have to play this game of looking at the code, understanding the full set of changes, which I argue is not a slow thing to do. On top of that, being able to take those changes then morph it into something that I find useful. Again, not good. I can often do all of that myself much faster or to more correctness, and then I understand the internal data structure that's happening, how the data is moving. I understand the program flow, and thus I have much better understanding of what's happening. And so it's just generally why I've had this problem. So I've been just trying to think of like how do I marry those two things together? How do I create something in which I can still have like the autocomplete feel, but I can still have the what's called like the vibe coding speed, right? Because that's what at the end of the day, I don't care if I type in every character. That's never been the thing that makes me excited. It's understanding and solving a problem and building good software that I really appreciate. So I've been working on this thing right here. I call it's Project 99, named after the Halo sniper rifle, the SRS 99. It's because I wanted something that's powerful but precise. Okay, I'm not looking for a rocket launcher. Close enough does not count in this case. So I'm gonna give you a super like what's it called? Trivial version of a problem we're going to solve. And so you can see how it works. So I can look at this fizz buzz, right? Now, this is obviously, we would never really do this, right? This is not something you would do, but you get the idea. So let's go like this count and items. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say this. I'm going to go param. Forgive my typing. Remember, I am on QWERTY now. It's only been a few weeks, so I feel really slow, honestly. Table, string, not string, we'll go like this. We'll go number and then string, right? So that's pretty much what you would expect from FizzBuzz. Let's go like this, return string this. There we go. So this looks pretty familiar, right? So we all know what should happen: fizz, buzz, baz, all that kind of stuff, all the good stuff. Now, I already know the answer to this. It's going to take me it's going to take me a couple minutes to get it exactly correct, but I generally know the answer. So what if I could instead just tell the AI to go figure it out? Now, you'll notice right away I get a nice little query thing, and you'll notice right away that's like, okay, I'm going to analyze the code base to understand and fill in the context. It goes and it's actually using a big model. It's using open code underneath the hood. I forget which one I'm going to do, but right now I can tell right away, hey, I'm using a classic algorithm. I'm going to do all the solving, and boom, it's going to fill it in and just solve this. Now, notice it didn't go and change my whole project. It didn't restructure anything. It didn't change how I had this stuff up here. It didn't change the signature. It's just changing this part right here. And that's the idea, is that I want something in which can understand the context, understand what I'm attempting to do, and then I can do these nice little kind of like, hey, just go fill that part in. And where this kind of was nice is that in this thing, I already knew exactly how I wanted this little kind of nice little spinner. I knew how I wanted to implement it. I knew how I wanted to have the status line kind of work. And so all I did is I just created this interface up here with the new. I created a get with the little return string, this thing right here, created the push, created the start, created the stop, and it just filled in all the rest. And so I just went, okay, fill in that function, fill in that function, fill in that function, fill in that function, and all the way through. It just knew exactly what it was doing. And so it was pretty great because, hey, I got all the speed of kind of like that, hey, models can generate code much faster than me, but I had all the control of what is the API, what exactly do I want to see, exactly where I want to see it, how I want it organized. Felt good. I enjoyed it. I am happy for what I am building, and I think I'm going to continue on using this. It's not going to be open source for a little bit just because I want to make sure that I actually really like it. And then if it is really good, I might consider turning it into an LSP so that way you can just use it in your favorite editor. But for now, it's just pure 100%, nothing, free range Lua, just beautiful Luing. It's using tree sitter. That's how it works. It's kind of clever. Effectively, all I do is I just, I get my cursor and then I just get a containing function using a bunch of tree sitter, all that kind of stuff, finding the smallest function that still intersects my cursor or still contains my cursor. And then I'm able to kind of, use a lot of asserts and all that fun stuff. And I go and create everything I need. It's absolutely fantastic. It just seems to work really, really well. Happy with it. I'm a happy boy with it. Okay. And yeah, so there you go. That's kind of like this fun little project I've been working on. I'm pretty happy about it. You might like it. I like it. You might like it. Maybe. I think it's better. Like in all reality, I actually think this is a better way to use AI, at least for me, because often I know what I want to do. And so therefore, if I know what I want to do and what I want to build, I don't want to have to deal with your crap, right? I don't want the AI doing all that. I just hate it. I just hate it so much. And so maybe I could learn to love AI with this new way. Just thought. Just a thought. And also, if I ever start using like a fill in the middle model, something that's like a lot faster, then I'd have to gather the context myself. Also, great use of tree sitter and LSPs. I could go and gather all the context I need super fast, send it off, have super fast response. And it could be really nice to have like a really nice zippy implementation. But again, whenever I use those fill in the models and they start doing big attempts, they often are wrong because again, this wideness is just much shorter in those models. And so I want, I don't know. I'm willing to try though. I'm totally willing to try. I don't know. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. Bye bye.
So, what are your thoughts?
That's what I asked you. What do you think? I think it's pretty
Oh,
pretty interesting for people that program. I don't
hmm,
develop, I'm not a developer. I want to get into that, but man,
yeah.
it's so much stuff, so much
Hmm.
stuff. But
Which one to do first? Learn to
which
configure servers and manage servers, or to program stuff. So, which one is it? DevOps or actual, software engineer?
Yeah, yeah. I'm more on the DevOps side of things, which is what makes more sense to me. But
Hmm,
you
hmm.
need to know programming or scripting. But you need to not on the way, on the primogen level. But I think this is pretty
Yeah,
cool for people that don't like for AI to take control over everything and modify the entire file, and then you're like, so what the hell did you modify? You have to go in, if you have it tracked in GitHub, it's easy because I see on Neovim, I can see what it changed exactly from what is in GitHub. But
yeah.
yeah, it would be way nicer if you can do it here like this, more controlled, only specifically on the thing that you wanted to do it. But you need to be a programmer. You have to know what
Yeah.
you're doing, right?
Yeah, so that's on a higher level because you obviously have to know what you're doing. I think what I'm interested in is making a bridge between, like, I don't consider myself like full beginner, but like I'm like, I would say next level. I don't program professionally, but I do it for fun, and it's nice. Ever since AI, I feel like I stopped learning. I started giving too much to it, and I was like, oh, it's magical, it's great, but then things don't work, and you don't really understand what the code base is happening. Before, I used to actually understand my projects, and I knew which file does what. Now I look at them and it's like, where do I find it? And I always have to ask the AI, like, help me find this, because I have no idea where to even start looking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to put things, how it phrase it, because I on the small throwaway projects, I don't take the time to scaffold them or anything like this. I just like, all right, just give me a quick idea.
Mm-hmm.
And for that is great. But I think if you want the sort of like a pair programmer type of experience, that tool and maybe something that will query, let's say, the documentation and show you documentation, help you go through documentation a little bit faster,
Mm-hmm.
maybe explain things. That's the way I saw it. It's like a tool that can work with you in Vim while you're coding and just have a sort of like a snapshot of your current file and like the overall code base of what it's actually doing, and just sort of like either give you ideas, examples, or just review documentation.
Mm, yeah, exactly what you mentioned right now is the reason why I don't like using stuff like Cloud Code or even Open Code, you know. And I don't have them installed. I have not tried them. I still use ChatGPT old way, you know, like an old
Hmm.
man, because I don't like it when I don't understand what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
It I rather learn Lua, you know, learn how to program correctly from the beginning, and then use these tools once I know exactly what I'm doing. But I don't know. I use AI to learn. Well,
Hmm.
it's difficult because it hallucinates, right? But
Yeah, it does.
um, I use it with stuff that I already know, networking and stuff that I already
Hmm.
know. It's simple
Yeah.
because I can verify what it's doing, and I know that it's right, and I know it makes sense, and I can, you know. But it's tough. It's tough.
What are your thoughts on using it when, like, I use it primarily for logs, finding
Oh
things in
yeah,
logs and
yeah.
searching for stuff. It's great for that.
Yeah, stuff that I don't want to spend an hour on. Let's say that it's a huge log, you know, like 200 lines. I just copy the whole thing, paste it, and I tell it what's going on. I give it a little bit of context so it understands, and it tells me, "Oh, this error, whatever," and I points me in the right direction, and I continue it. So it's useful for that, you know, as a
Yeah.
tool
Yeah.
to debug stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, it's tough. I I don't know. It's really useful. I'm not gonna lie, and I use it all the
Hmm.
time. But I don't have Cloud Code installed because I don't want to create something that I'm not gonna understand. I'd rather learn
Hmm.
first, you know, and go
Yeah.
from there. But for my NeoVim config, which is not something that is production grade ready, is something that I use. You know, I use it a lot.
Hmm.
You know, all this
Hmm.
time, and I know the basics of Lua, but I don't like Lua. It's weird. It's different, right? But uh, it's useful in those specific cases. But scripting, basic scripting, useful as well. If you
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
verify that what it's doing is right and that it makes sense, you know, and if you tell it exactly what you want it to do and you can confirm that it works, that's decent. But create a whole project for me, no, I don't, because I will not understand what's happening. I'll hate it. Why is
Exactly.
my phone
Yeah.
doing that? I don't know. But
I
yeah,
think it's lighting.
I don't know,
Are
man.
you on a bouncy ball too now? Because I
Yeah,
see you moving around.
I am.
Okay.
I am. But I'm moving around like this all the time and it doesn't do that. Maybe there's an insect there or something and it's making it lose its focus. All right,
Hmm.
Ruben, any final words
Okay.
before we wrap it up?
No, I just had a good time just chatting about things. I think we should do more of this, and I hope the audience likes it too, because we're just sort of recapping what we saw in the last couple of weeks, and see if anything is interesting, and hopefully more people will join in, and we can actually engage and actually maybe search on or extend on topics that they have interest to.
Yeah, let's do it on Sundays. If you're available on Sundays, we can do it at this time so we can have like a schedule, you know, more
Okay. Hmm.
consistency. So if you're available on
Okay.
Sundays, we can do it on Sundays.
I like this time, yeah, because I basically get up, and if the weather is nice, obviously it's gonna be more sunny. So yeah, great. I like it. Let's do it.
All right. Awesome.
Maybe see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you let me know when you want to do the next one because we're still behind, like in I don't know
Yeah.
5 or
Let's
something.
do 2 weeks. Yeah, let's do 2 weeks schedule until we catch up, and then so in a couple weeks.
Every 2 weeks, you mean?
Yeah, let's at least for now. I can predict that in 2 weeks I'll probably be free around this time
Okay.
on Sunday.
Okay,
I
awesome.
don't have anything going on, so for sure in 2 weeks. I think here in the States is the Super Bowl. I think it's the 8th, February 8th is in
Mhm.
2 weeks. So the Super Bowl is here, big event. But yeah, in a morning like this, like wake up around 8 my time. It's great.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Roman. We'll see you.
Yep, no
See
problem.
you, chat.
Okay, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.